it's Margaret. Welcome to my channel, Texas Gal Treasures. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you things that you should be looking for that are going to bring big profits if you're wanting to flip and sell things on eBay. I'm down visiting my parents in Houston and stopped at a Goodwill that I used to go to all the time. They still actually sell jewelry there. This jewelry bag that they had was all pretty much broken, junky stuff, so I did not pick it up. I think they wanted 30 bucks for it. Might have been a few good things in there, but I just really didn't. So I didn't see too much in there that could bring a good profit. Jewelry is always something that is a steady seller for me. I actually need to update my store and get some more jewelry up in it. Goodness knows I have enough to list. I always hit the Plush section because there can be really good money in Plush. Miss Piggy was looking pretty banged up there though, so I did not try her or even bother looking her up because I don't do a lot of heavy cleaning on Plush items. But I am looking for things that I don't mind carrying home that are going to bring a good profit. So I see this little Nyla from The Lion King, and she does talk, and she was working and everything. She looked pretty clean. So I definitely looked her up thinking, you know, it's a good franchise. People love Lion King. And let's see what she might bring. So I'm looking at this bunny rabbit to see if it's any brand like Jellycat. There's certain brands that I really like looking for, but it wasn't. Anybody else here? I looked at this woolly mammoth because I like finding plush that's unusual that you don't see all the time. But it was a Build-A-Bear one. It might still have been one worth looking at, but I didn't go ahead and look it up on that one. So the Nala, I guess I'm saying her name wrong. Oops. Her plush just really wasn't selling for that much. There were these that were up, and there weren't a lot sold either. So I decided this is not going to be one that I bring home. Now, with the Thai Beanie Babies and Beanie Boos, I look them up because I can never remember which ones are profitable and which ones aren't. Most of the time, they're a pass, but it's worth looking ones up if you find one that you're like, oh, that's an unusual one. I haven't seen that before. But this little platypus, when I looked it up, just was not worth bringing home at all, so it stayed back at the store as well. Now, there can also be good money in mugs if you know what to look for. If you don't know what to look for, it's always safe to find something. Just look it up and see what you find. Farsight was usually one of my go-to brands to pick up, and so I was kind of excited to find another Farsight mug, even with the crazing in the bottom. But this one was really not worth picking up. So this one was selling for like $10, $15, which if I got it for a dime or something like that, maybe. Look, there's one up for 30 bucks, but there weren't any sold. So that was another reason I was like, well, there may be a few up, but absolutely none sold in the last 90 days. I think I'm going to pass on that. But I thought I'm going to look back at some of the other Farsight mugs that were also my go-tos, and some of the ones that I remember picking up and being really excited about aren't selling for as much as they used to. There were still a couple that were going for like 30 bucks, which would make me pretty happy to sell a mug that I got for a little bit for $30. Now we're talking. All right, this is a Currier and Ives. At first I thought it was a creamer, but it's a syrup, like a syrup pitcher, a little syrup pitcher. And this Currier Ives, this was selling for about $50. This is a brand, another one to be on the lookout for. Whether it's this pink, which they call red, redware, but take a look at some of these Currier and Ives items. This is a rolling pin. It's got that porcelain ceramic, and then it's got the design. Here's an egg plate selling for $177. So if you're seeing those, it looks like blue or red transferware. They call it red, but it looks pink. Then take a look at it because some of those items can go for a really big profit. So here's another, again, you see how they call it red teapot for $100. And then here's another one this is Washington Family Teapot, $78. So it's worth taking a look when you see items like this. Flip them over, do a search. Of course, there's going to be some that sell for more than others, but it is worth looking them up if you see them when you're out thrifting or garage sailing. So definitely keep an eye out for that Currier and Ives. Here's another item I was excited to find. This is a kind of a reproduction of the vintage patterns. This is called Vintage Charm by Pyrex. Take a look at what this is selling for. So this is one of the newer styles. But as you can see, these bowls can still sell for a pretty good profit. we are going to take a look at some of the ones that you should be looking out for that are the actual vintage patterns that can sell for phenomenal amounts of money. So this is the Atomic Starburst. This one with the stand, the warmers and everything, over $1,000, pushing almost $2,000 for this item. But you can also find some of the more common ones that are out there that you might think, I mean, it's just another Pyrex bowl, right? But here you see this Pyrex bowl that sold for $294, and these are on recently solds. Here's a set, Shenandoah. I don't know all the names of the patterns, but this one, the set of these sold for $110. Here's the Amish butter print that sold for $23. But again, you know, these are all recently sold on this. So you see again the set with the Amish butter print. There's even a Mickey Mouse new set out there for $45. But there are some of the older ones that can also, whether it's maybe not in the thousands of dollars, in the definite hundreds of dollars. So here's the Amish butter print, the orange one, the pink Pyrex mixing bowls, and then here are these Atomic Ives that sold for $770. Isn't that fantastic? This chip and dip set, Atomic Ives, chip and dip bowl, over $700 for that item. So here again, orange butter print if you have the set of the 4 bowls. But even if you don't, somebody may be looking for one to complete their set. Here's that Atomic Starburst without the stand, still almost $1,000 for that dish. So it's something, you know, if you're at an estate sale or a garage sale and you see that they've got all these old Pyrex dishes out, it might be worth your while to look up and see, well, you know, what is this yellow striped mixing bowl worth? Well, gee, it might be worth about $900. So take a look at this Pyrex, whether it's reproduction like the newer stuff that they've come out with or some of these older ones. Look at this turquoise white snowflake. Round cake pan, $1,300 is what it sold for. Here's the Blossom Breeze Cinderella Starter. Okay, $1,200. All right, do you know what your mission is? Go out there and find one of these Pyrex dishes and make yourself a mint, right? Another fun find was this little cookie time ornament. I was like, oh, this is pretty cute. I've never seen this before. A little porcelain, ceramic, cookie time ornament. So definitely going to pick that up for $2. And this is, I didn't find any up for sale. Every single one I found was sold. So I went to look at what was up for sale still, and there were none there. So I was searching. Maybe I'm overlooking it. So $30, $50, and then I found one that sold on Mercari for $30, and then I found one that sold, I believe, on Etsy. Yep, this one sold for $32.50 on Etsy. Now, what I like about this, having none up for sale that I could find on any platform, is that I could basically name my price. So if I wanted to sell it for $60, then I'll sell it for $60. But I did want to point out there are lots of other ornaments out there that bring in a fantastic profit. These are Swarovski. They made a special Christmas star ornament in 1991, and it is consistently selling for about $2,000. I wanted to show this picture so you could see the Swarovski symbol. It looks like a swan. Their boxes are this kind of blue, they're not navy, but they're this blue box. So maybe you can't find this one. It's got 1991 on it. So 1991 Swarovski crystal snowflake ornaments. But there are other Swarovski ornaments that sell. So knowing that brand, knowing the symbol or the icon for it, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. That little swan. So here are some that are just recently sold. There are other snowflakes or stars. That one sold for $20, but here's another Swarovski. It's just a ball with, it looks like a little wolf or something inside of it. Yeah, and then some of these, notice that triangular box. So that's something that, you know, might catch your eye if you're at an estate sale or a thrift store garage sale, what have you. And here's another Swarovski. It looks like little candy canes, you know, $150 for those. And y'all, Christmas sells year round. So if you've got Christmas stuff, don't hold on to it thinking you're going to sell it in Q4. Christmas sells all year round, so get it up as soon as you have it. I mean, these, look, sold in May, these Christmas ornaments. Okay, I'm a sucker for sake cups. These were really nice. I didn't find any just quite like these. Sake cups, I'm going to tell you, they're hit or miss, but if you find a nice set, they can sell for a good profit. These are some similar to mine, so about $19. Here's another set similar to mine, about $25, which is probably the range I'll put mine in. You know, I don't mind picking something up for $2 or $3 and then flipping it for 25, 30. There are a lot of different types of sake cups. It seems like if you can find a nice set that's a boxed set, or the subject matter on the set, like those with the, I think they were like kabuki masks or something like that, I may be saying that wrong, then they can bring a nice profit. So it's something to look at, something, I mean, if you find ones that look really nice, then perhaps pick them up. But again, it's, I mean, with everything, there's going to be hits and misses within that subject matter or even within that brand. Now this dish, I had never seen one of these before. So it's got this rabbit on top. It has this Asian kind of style, like casserole dish, right? I only found 2 of these up for sale. This one's up on Etsy for $72. And then I found another one, I'll have to see what platform it's on for. I think it was like $45, something like that. $45, yeah. Also Etsy, okay. So I like that there's not a lot of them out there. And the prices are really good. So I think for $7, I think that's what that was priced at. And I'm probably going to go on the higher end because I didn't find any other ones like, I mean, other than those 2. There weren't very many out there. So probably going to put that up for $75 or so. So when you find something you've never seen before, look it up because it might bring you a really good profit. So here I've got this Scentsy warmer. They went $3 for it. I don't buy a lot of Scentsy stuff, but there can be really good profit in it, especially if it's working. This one has a nice subject matter. It's got this kind of bisque ivory look with these little gold angels on it, and subject matter was pretty good, which with most things, that's a lot of the, what brings a lot of the value to it. So I thought this is going to be a nice one. Let's see what this one's going to bring me for $3. Sure, I'll take it. And also take a look at some other Scentsy warmers that can bring a really, really hefty profit. So this one, I mean, $35. These are solds. So there are a couple here that have sold for lower than what I probably will price it at. I'll probably go more towards the $30 mark. I wanted to see how many were still up. There were a few still up for $15, to $30. There were some smaller ones there as well. $20. It seemed like, right around that $20 mark was the norm. But if you see those warmers out there, take a look at them because there are some, especially ones that are like Disney branded ones. There were some Harry Potter ones out there. There are ones that tie into universities and like military branches. So it's something that's worth looking up if you see them out. So these are ones that have sold for a pretty high profit. But I also like to look at what has ended recently to see, are those high ticket ones also selling recently? And yeah, there's a Stitch sold for $100. The Halloween one, $25. I mean, if you're getting it at a garage sale for $1, then a good $20 profit is nothing to turn your nose up at, right? Of course, I would love to have ones that make $100 every single time. But even still, like some of these that, recently sold for $50 on that patriotic, it looks like Americana style patriotic red, white, and blue for $50. So I'll take it. All right. If you don't know Pusheen yet, let me introduce you. Pusheen, everybody Pusheen. Pusheen is another, it's kind of like the Squishmallows. Pusheen is very collectible. Some people, one of my kids loves Pusheen and has a ton of stuff Pusheen related. Actually, already has this plush. So just like with the Squishmallows that I talked about in the other video, the Pusheen has got lots of different variations of the same one. So as you can see, the birthday one, eyes closed, eyes open, cupcake, little blower, whatever you call that, noisemaker. Those different items or different variations can bring different amounts of profit. So the one with the little noisemaker brought $65. So the one I've got that I found there, probably about $20-25, which is pretty good for a $2 plush. But there are some that, if you can find them, are worth a lot more money. Like some of these Halloween Pusheen for about $200, whether it's a ghost or a pumpkin. Definitely keep your eye out. There's one with hamburger and French fries. What has she got there? I don't even know what's in that one. But there's a little witch. Isn't that adorable? I was pretty excited to find this. It's, what's the brand again? Sanyo. And this was a dictation machine or a transcriber, something like that. Luckily, they had a place to plug it in so you could fool around and see if it's working. It did take me a few minutes to figure out how to get it going, but as far as I could tell it was working, it did make kind of a high-pitched, like, screechy sound, so I didn't end up getting it, but I do want to share with you this brand, what this item was selling for, and if you see this brand, what to be looking for when you're out there. I thought for sure, you know, once I got it going that this was going to be something that would be worth picking up, but it actually wasn't. So there were a few solds around $20 on this item. See, here's another one that's up, or sold rather, for about $30, best offer accepted. And then another one that's, you know, around $30, $35 for the same item, which is not terrible. I mean, if I could get it for a few bucks and flip it for that amount, then that's good. But there are some Sanyo boom boxes that can sell. So if you see those out, they're worth looking at. There were around $250 for these. There's a few different variations here that I'm showing you. And then there was also like a home stereo type one that sold for $150. So definitely keep an eye out for Sanyo boom boxes. All right, you know the drill. I've shown you mine. Now you show me yours. Go down in the comment section and leave something that you look for that brings a really good profit when you are out thrifting, garage selling, estate selling, what have you. And make sure you've hit that subscribe button and the bell so you're notified when I put out new videos. And I will see you on the next one. Enjoy, you guys.